More!
Lunch break!
Chipotle.
You know, we've talked about a lot of stuff on lunch break. You know, we've done like top 10 lists, current events, we've done relationships, but there's not a lot of like self-reflection. So our audience is growing, and it's growing to the more younger side. I feel like we haven't really spoken to them recently. So this is for you guys.
We see you.
You know, being in high school is tough. Basically anything before college, I feel like you're extremely insecure, like more so than usual, because you got things like biology, and I don't mean the subject, I mean like, hormones is what I'm saying.
I'd say, yeah, insecurity is definitely something that is, I think, more common prior to college. I think a lot of it is uncertainty, and sometimes you're trying to figure out your path, or you're trying to carve out an identity or a niche. There's always somebody who's, you know, older or bigger
Or more popular.
and it's always a time where you're comparing yourself with people.
Excellent point. The whole comparison thing is so big before you go to college. I mean, in life it is there, but I feel like in that time it's huge. And comparing yourself to others is sometimes very dangerous.
Well, back then, I think you just nitpick the little things that are not important later on down the line. Like, wow, she has new shoes. Ooh, she looks so good. Like,
She did look good
ew.
in those shoes.
But like little things like that are, you know, so important back then. Like, I have to be popular. I have to be smart. I have to be this. But now it's like not as important in comparison to other people.
I totally agree with that. You know, being in high school now is probably even harder than when we were, because social media is so much more prevalent. That just amplifies the whole comparison game. But sometimes it's important to just look at what you've done and to be happy with that, and not to see like if it's better or worse than what someone else has done.
So with that, let's just rewind to our childhoods and what are your guys' proudest moments?
Oh, this is gonna be embarrassing.
What? Embarrassing?
No,
Yeah.
Chris.
Why?
Well, no. There's some proud moments, but some of them were like, at the time they were kind of embarrassing, but like, I guess now I'm like thinking back, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I feel like accomplishments are easier to see in hindsight, and sometimes the ones that you might overlook are actually very important.
I don't know, I was pretty proud at the time though.
Of what?
I immediately went back to this moment in middle school. It was kind of towards the end of the year, but for some reason, me and like a group of friends, acquaintances, started a rap battle. And I'm not gonna say the rap.
No, you can't say I was in a rap battle and not tell us.
But let's say I won the rap battle. But,
Wow.
And I was really proud of that moment.
Was it
But-
ending like, whoa?
But the funny thing is, it was kind of towards the end of the year. It's like I went home and I like started writing a bunch of raps down,
Really?
waiting for the next rap battle. But then summer happened and everybody forgot about it.
That's pretty funny.
That is funny.
That's,
I
I'll
cannot
have to make
imagine
a
you.
mixtape.
well, so what year were you? Like 6th grade,
It
7th?
was like 7th grade.
That is a very defining moment, because whenever there's something that you can kind of prove your abilities beyond like grades, I feel like those were moments that you wanted everyone to know about. And validation,
Yeah.
right? It's all about validation.
But then like as I thought more about it, I go back to my sophomore year in high school. That kind of shaped me as a person, I guess. It was our sophomore speeches. So you had to do a speech for the whole class, and public speaking is very nerve-wracking for a lot of people, and at that time,
Still very hard.
At that time, I was like getting braces. I had an expander, so I had a very severe lisp at this time. And it was right around the time that I had to do this big, I think it was like a final speech, right? I don't know, something just clicked and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna volunteer. I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna tell the class, hey, I can't talk because I have this expander in my mouth.
Nice.
So you're just gonna have to like live with it. And it ended up going really well. I think I aced that speech.
Nice.
And the teacher like really commended me for it and was saying like I overcame this small inconvenience but ended up having a really good speech.
I think that's all about owning it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like you were embarrassed about something, and you're gonna be the first one to call it out. But I think one approach is that, like, thinking about what events kind of had a really big impact on your character, which is like what you described, like a life lesson kind of thing. And then there's also like the really random feel-good moments that probably wouldn't have changed anything if it didn't happen. So this is in 3rd grade, little Wesley in 3rd grade. I didn't even enter a art competition. We were required to do this contest to promote awareness for lead poisoning in paint.
Oh.
That's really showing my age.
I think we all have to thank you for taking that step forward.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
us.
wait, so is this a science class or is this art class?
This is 3rd grade, so it's
Oh, okay.
all class.
Uh-huh.
The prompt was lead poisoning is dangerous. be careful. And we have to make a poster that conveys this message in a fun way.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine a third grader, like innocent little kids doing this.
It was very odd. I ended up winning first place. And there was a money award.
What?
And I was like, that was the first time. Actually, you know what? That was the first time I won anything.
Wow.
That actually is a big moment.
The first time you got paid.
Yeah.
How much money was it?
It was a $75 savings bond.
What? Whoa.
Savings bond.
Do you guys know how savings bonds work?
Is that like a gift card?
Essentially. I just heard $75 when I was in 3rd grade and I was just like, my mind was blown.
That's so nice.
Yeah. So the poster was very simple. It was a guy and there was a cross section. His profile view, right? Mm-hmm. And then you could see his brain. And the brain had an unhappy face.
Aww.
And then it was like, oh, I don't feel good. And then because all around him was like stuff that had lead in it.
That's
Like
very
paint,
Yeah, paint.
complex.
plastics.
Yeah. And thus sparked my artistic endeavors.
There was this one time, it was in class, but we all had to do like a cityscape skyline. I think this was 4th grade or 3rd grade. And everybody did pencil and like watercolor or pencil and then, you know, acrylic. But I was the only one that used oil pastels.
Ooh, okay.
Mine would obviously start to look quite different from, you know, from using pencil. So it ended up being like impressionistic, and like at the time I was like, I don't know what impressionistic, because the teacher was like, oh, this looks impressionistic.
I would argue that 4th grade Chris did know what impressionistic meant.
Oh, maybe I did. Maybe I
What I was
did.
going for. My inspirations for this class art project were Van Gogh.
So yeah, it was the teacher. She kept, I guess, saying nice things about that artwork, and she told me to keep pursuing. Don't change it, because he was like, wait, why is everyone else doing it slightly different? And she was like, well, you made a decision to try something different, and that one ended up winning. Yeah.
Winners!
So that was pretty cool.
Winners over here too, right? Wow, we are a table of winners.
Early on, I thought it was about like, oh, I can be creative. And my parents were always like telling me, oh yeah, you should be proud of this. You know, not very many kids around your age are, you know, getting recognized for, you know, creative stuff. And I thought that was a kind of a proud moment, like when I was young.
That's really cool, because I didn't know that you had that background in art and stuff. Jen, what about you? I wouldn't be surprised if it's also a creative thing, yeah.
I feel like my personal development didn't happen until after high school, because I feel like my growth was very slow. Like I was very sheltered, I didn't do much, I didn't have many friends. I only have one instance of being proud, and that was my senior year of high school, spring. So the last almost moment of high school.
Yeah.
So I didn't branch out until my end of junior year, when I joined Key Club, the community service club, and it's international. Yeah.
We got Key Club.
So yeah, it was cool. It was like, that was my first time like hanging out and going outside and like doing something with friends. I don't know, it was like I was that sheltered. Like I didn't hang out with friends at the movie theaters or at the mall like normal kids. Yeah, I just went home and did homework. Yeah, that was my first time like being in a leadership position. And so I think that was like really empowering to me, like knowing that I could do that. Yeah, so then end of my senior year, that position, I was treasurer, and I applied for an award at the convention, which is like with all the clubs from California, Nevada, Hawaii. And only like
That's huge.
4 or 5 people get recognized within each position.
And you got recognized.
Yeah, and that's
Wow.
cool. And I got a medal and everything.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, so that's my biggest thing.
It's a key moment you should be proud of.
I only think that as my biggest moment because it was so concrete, like I was saying earlier. But when I think about it, I never had moments like that early in my life.
I think that's like the point. Like, even if you're the quiet kid, or the guy that no one knew could rap, or the undercover artist.
Or the scientist.
Science was drawing. He's an architect.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like this day and age, it's very easy to always be looking forward, but you also have to look back and kind of count the little wins that you get along the way.
See how far you've come.
Yeah, because those things are great morale boosters, and it's just beyond validation from other people. You're recognizing
Yeah, you're
that
recognizing
I've
yourself.
grown, and self-growth is always good.
As you get older, you start to realize that actually less and less people really, really deep down really care about what it is that you do, the way that you do. So I feel like you have to reward yourself. You have to, you know, like what you said, like find the little wins.
It's not that nobody cares, it's just that no one cares as much as you will.
Yeah.
My mindset shifted once I hit college. And of that, like where I validated myself and I didn't have to rely on other people. I was like, I can be proud of myself because I'm proud of myself, not because someone told me, right? For you guys who think that high school sucks or whatever sucks, it just gets better, and it only gets better when you get older.
There's a lot, you know, when I look around, I'm not really thinking about myself. I'm like thinking about you guys, and I'm really proud of the things you guys have done. So, yeah. I think that everyone has a lot to be proud of, and sometimes it's the hardest to see for yourself.
But yeah, let us know what your proudest moments are in the comments below.
Hope you guys enjoyed that kind of self-reflection talk and our little stories. New lunch breaks every Thursday. See you next time. Bye.